Mastering corrective action implementation. Corrective actions often mask the deeper disease. When a corrective action is implemented to address a specific issue, what is the underlying root cause of the problem that led to the necessity of taking such corrective action in the first place? The corrective action implementation process, it's a crucial step in ensuring operational excellence, but have you ever stopped to think about why we need to take corrective action in the first place? I've spent my fair share of time navigating this process, and let me tell you, it's not just about fixing a problem, it's about understanding the underlying culture that allowed the problem to exist in the first place. I recall a particular incident at a manufacturing plant I was working with. One of their production lines was consistently falling short of quality standards, resulting in a significant amount of waste and rework. The team implemented a corrective action plan to retrain the production staff and revise the quality control process. But as I dug deeper, I realized that the root cause of the problem wasn't the lack of training or a faulty process, it was the cultural attitude towards quality. You see, the production team was under immense pressure to meet production targets, and quality had taken a back seat. The management's emphasis was on quantity over quality, and this mindset had permeated throughout the organization. The corrective action plan was just a band-aid solution. It didn't address the underlying issue. I had to have some tough conversations with the management team to make them realize that their priorities needed to shift. It wasn't about sacrificing production targets, but about recognizing that quality was an integral part of the process. We worked together to redefine their key performance indicators, incorporating quality metrics alongside production targets. This wasn't an easy process, and there were times when I felt like I was banging my head against a wall. But I knew that if we didn't address the root cause, we'd be back to square one in no time. It required a mindset shift, and that's never easy. Through this process, I learned that corrective action implementation is not just about fixing a problem, but about identifying the underlying cultural and organizational factors that contributed to the problem in the first place. It's about asking tough questions, like, what are our priorities? What are we incentivizing? And what are we willing to compromise on? In the end, the production line saw a significant improvement in quality, and the organization as a whole began to prioritize quality alongside production targets. It was a hard-won victory, but it was worth it. As I look back, I realize that corrective action implementation is not just about operational excellence, it's about creating a culture of accountability, transparency, and ethical responsibility. It's about recognizing that our actions have consequences, and that we must take ownership of those consequences. So the next time you're implementing a corrective action plan, don't just focus on fixing the problem, take the time to understand the underlying root cause. Ask the tough questions, have the uncomfortable conversations, and be willing to challenge the status quo. That's where real operational excellence begins. In the context of corrective action implementation and operational excellence, identifying the underlying root cause of a problem is a critical step in preventing recurrence and ensuring sustainable improvement. A corrective action is typically taken in response to a specific issue, incident, or nonconformity that has been identified through various means, such as audits, customer complaints, or internal reporting. However, simply implementing a corrective action without understanding the underlying root cause of the problem may only provide a temporary fix, leaving the organization vulnerable to repeat occurrences. The underlying root cause of a problem can be attributed to one or a combination of factors, including 1. Design flaws, inherent design weaknesses, or inadequacies in products, processes, or systems that can lead to failures or malfunctions. For instance, a product design flaw can result in premature wear and tear, necessitating corrective action to rectify the issue. 2. Human error, mistakes or oversights made by individuals, which can be attributed to lack of training, inadequate supervision, or insufficient communication. Human error can be a significant contributor to quality issues, accidents, or near-miss events, prompting corrective action to prevent recurrence. 3. Process deficiencies. Inadequate or inefficient processes can lead to variability, inconsistency, or errors. Process deficiencies can be due to inadequate standard operating procedures, SOPs, insufficient quality control checks, or inadequate maintenance schedules, necessitating corrective action to improve process reliability. 4. Material or component failure. Failure of materials or components can lead to product failures, equipment breakdowns, or system malfunctions. This can be attributed to inferior quality materials, supplier quality issues, or inadequate incoming inspection processes. 5. Poor maintenance. Inadequate or ineffective maintenance of equipment, machinery, or systems can lead to premature failure, downtime, or reduced performance. This can be attributed to inadequate maintenance schedules, insufficient training, or lack of resources. 6. Training and competence. Inadequate training or incompetent personnel can lead to mistakes, errors, or oversights, necessitating corrective action to address skill gaps or knowledge deficiencies. 7. Organizational or cultural issues. Organizational culture, policies, or procedures can sometimes perpetuate problems or create an environment conducive to error. For instance, a culture of fear or blame can discourage employees from reporting near-miss events or quality issues, leading to delayed corrective action. 8. Supply chain or vendor quality issues. Quality issues or failures within the supply chain can lead to problems downstream, necessitating corrective action to address supplier quality issues or improve supply chain resilience. 9. Environmental or external factors. External factors such as weather, natural disasters, or changes in market conditions can also contribute to problems, requiring corrective action to mitigate or adapt to these factors. 10. Inadequate metrics or monitoring. Inadequate measurement or monitoring of key performance indicators, KPIs, can make it difficult to identify potential issues, leading to delayed corrective action. To identify the underlying root cause of a problem, organizations should employ a structured approach, such as root cause analysis, RCA, a methodical approach to identify the underlying causes of a problem, using tools such as fishbone diagrams, 5 whys, or SWOT analysis. Failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA, a proactive approach to identify potential failure modes, assess their impact, and prioritize corrective actions. Fault tree analysis, a logical and systematic approach to identify possible failures or errors in a process or system. By identifying and addressing the underlying root cause of a problem, organizations can implement effective corrective actions that prevent recurrence, reduce risk, and drive sustainable improvement. This, in turn, enables operational excellence by reducing waste, improving productivity, and enhancing overall performance.